Okay guys, so in this particular video we are going to review about the sales agreement process in the sales and marketing module. If you remember, we have already explored about the purchase agreement in some of our earlier part in a very detailed way, and whatever I have explained and whatever we have explored against the purchase agreement in a very detailed manner in the procurement and sourcing module is all also valid for the sales agreement. In a case of a purchase agreement, it was applicable between the ADC motor company and a vendor from whom we purchase the spare parts or the equipments from. Whereas in the case of a sales agreement, it is applicable, it's a kind of a special contract or a blanket order that are applicable between the ADC motor and the customer who are purchasing it. ADC motor has a lot of wholesale customers and lots of regular customers, so it's very common for ADC motor to sign up a specific sales contract with few of the customer who are very loyal to ADC motor to provide them with a special agreement, that is special discount. We know the concept of trade agreement where we give a certain discount to a specific customer. It could be a line discount or a total discount, but the trade agreement also can provide with a special price and special agreement which totally overrides the sales trade agreement price and the discounts. So the sales agreement price will supersede all other prices that has been configured against the trade agreement for any item or a category of item. So based on this particular trade agreement, we agree upon a specific price and specific discount for certain quantity, up to certain quantity of a product. Let's say that somebody is buying 100 engine as a spare part from me. For the first 100 engines, I will provide him with a 10% discount. From the 101th engine, there is no discount. It will follow the trade agreement. So likewise, such scenarios can be achieved through the sales agreement. Likewise, it's also possible to have a value-based agreement. The previous one was an example of a quantity-based agreement. In the case of a value-based agreement, a customer will purchase an engine worth of $1 million from me, and once he consumes all the quota of $1 million, then the contract is gone. So any other engine that he consumes later will not be applicable for special pricing that is mentioned in the agreement. So this is a value-based agreement. So for the sales agreement, click on sales agreement. So it's almost quite similar to other document creation like sales order or purchase order. So just go and click on the sales agreement new, and there's only one customer, so choose the customer. Oh sorry, we also changed the prospect to a customer, so now we have two customers. Okay, so this one is something that you can right click view details and add it. It doesn't have a logic, it's just for the sake of reporting, just categorizing your sales agreement. So in this case, the blanket sales agreement, you can key in a reference number if needed. This is your sales agreement number, local currency, external identification number. But what is more important is this one. In our case, we are going to do a quantity commitment because I want to only sell a specific quantity to a discounted price. Beyond that quantity, customer needs to pay the normal price. Value-based commitment is just I explained. That is, a customer is allowed to buy 1 million worth of a specific part. Likewise, category commitment, so customer is eligible to buy a 1 million ringgits worth of not a specific part but a specific category of part. A category could be maybe a spare part or maybe a specific group of item. So you can, instead of mentioning a part number, you can mention just a category. Within that category, you can buy any parts worth of this many dollars, beyond which there are no discounts or the contract terms doesn't apply. Likewise, value commitment is irrespective of whatever category it is, whatever item it is, you just have a value that you are ready to give it to a customer. So in this case, it's very flexible. So within that value, any part or any category is allowed to be consumed as a part of a contract. Once the limit is reached, then you're done, right? So in this case, we are only going to explore the first one because we already know about this, that we have explored using the purchase agreement earlier in the earlier videos, so do watch them to get more idea about this sales agreement as well. So once you do this, you can key in an expiry date. In my case, it expires, let's say, after a year, and after the year this agreement is no more applicable. You can even tag a project ID to a contract. Say okay. So the sales agreement is created. So once the sales agreement is created, just add a line, and let's create this agreement for maybe a new item with a price, so we understand better, because I want to give a new price in the sales agreement. Let's pull a storage dimension, site warehouse. All this can actually default from the parameter I haven't keyed in, so that's why I'm manually doing it. But if you have all this as a default parameter, then all of them will be auto populating for you, saving a lot of time. Let's validate it to see if there are any mistakes. Okay, I did give it, I don't know why it. So there's no tracking dimension. Validate it. Okay, now sell, create trade agreement, sell price, lines. Let's just put a simple price, guys, for this item. For the warehouse, it's CS, and for the currency amount, let's keep it as 100. Let's validate it to see if there are no errors. And post it. So it is $100 in price. So now coming back to the agreement, let's put the item that we have just created with the price. And here it is quantity commitment. So let me just give a commitment of 100. That is the customer promising me. And here the net amount is grayed out. Only thing which is possible to do is, let's say I'm giving a discount and also a unit amount of 90 instead of 100. Okay, so that is done. So if you see, still the status of this quote is still on hold. It is not yet changed to active. And also the fulfillment rate is at the moment, even though 100 is fulfillment rate, nothing is being released. There is no sales order released or delivered. So in this case, while confirming this particular agreement, you have a ability to mark this as effective. So mark the agreement as effective, checkbox is checked, and I'm going to just say okay to make it as an effective sales agreement. So once the agreement is activated, which is effective, then you can go and click on the release order button. So click on the release order button, and this is how you release your agreement into your sales order. In this case, I can if I go to the fulfillment rate, there are 100 that I can release for this special price of $90. So I'm going to release the 10 of them to the customer. So here you can put the sales quantity of release, and you can even do the delivery date simulation and all that. We will cover all of these topics in a subsequent session. And you are done, and this will automatically create a sales order in the system, which is of this one. Okay, you can either go here and check the sales order with this number, or you can even go to the release order section and click on the sales order. So if I get into the sales order now, the sales order actually, we have created this item, and we have also created a trade agreement for this item for $100, but this sales order is not $100. It is having a unit price of this and additional discount, and this is the actual amount, and this actual unit price is coming from my trade agreement line. So if I go to the line update and check the attachment here, you will see that it says that it is attached with this particular agreement. So let's say that I am going back to the agreement now. Let's close this order and just trace back to the agreement. So here you see that out of 100, 10 is released and 90 is remaining. Once I deliver the sales order, the 10 will move to delivered. Once I invoice the sales order, the 10 will move to invoiced as well. So the fulfillment tab will just give you a full overall idea of how much quantity in the agreement got released, how much delivered, and everything. So you can play around with this and see how they work. So one way is you can create a sales the sales order directly from the agreement by using the release order button. And another way is if you go to the sales order, there is sales and marketing, go to the sales order itself. New sales order, and so here you can actually tag the sales agreement ID as well. Okay, so I think ours is this one. So tag it. So this is another way of associating a sales order with an agreement. So even though this is attached to an agreement, you can still add an agreement line and a non-agreement line, because at the line level, system will automatically link the relevant item into the agreement. Let's say that this one is an item that is a part of agreement. I can even add one more line which is not a part of this agreement. So the system automatically sends the item and the prices will be calculated accordingly. In this case, it is a part of the agreement. So you will see that the price is not 100, it is 90 in this case. So even here, if you check that, you will see there is a attachment. There is it is actually populating the price. Let's say I'm adding another item, a regular one, it's not a part of this agreement, then it will populate a normal trade agreement price. Okay, so you can have multiple lines in the same sales order. Some lines are related with the agreement and some lines are not related with the agreement, because the agreements are anyway attached to the line level of the sales order. So you can even delink the agreement from here, or for example, let's say that the quantity is 1 in this case, but let's say that the agreement is only valid for 90 more, right? Because we can release 90 more, and beyond that the prices are not applicable. So let's say I'm going with 100 price, but still, even if I say 100 price, but still I have my discounts applied, the system is not stopping me, still it's letting me go. So if you want the system to stop you whenever you are trying to key in a quantity which is more than that of a agreement quantity, then you should go with an agreement with a max enforced checkbox checked. Okay, in this case it is not letting me do. So what I can do is I can go to the line update and remove the link, say yes, and say yes, I want to override the trade agreement price. So now I see that the pricing is a trade agreement price, right? It's not automatically happening. If you want this to automatically happen, then in such cases you need to create the trade agreement with max enforced enabled, meaning let's go to a specific trade agreement that I've already created to show you. So that trade agreement, let's say for example, so in this trade agreement, the max is enforced, is yes, right? This needs to be enabled. So let's try this trade agreement now. Let's try to create a new sales order. That item and trade sales agreement, the second one. Okay. And let's check this trade agreement. How many is released and fulfilled? Uh, Nothing released, right? 10, right? Okay, let me put the item B00 and the quantity, let's say it is 10 in this case, and the price is 80. So the pricing is all coming from the agreement. If you see, there is also a link attached to the line which is referring to the agreement. And let's say that in this case I'm going with 100 quantity. So in this case I will get a conflict, I will get a automatic checkbox. It will stop me from going above the sales agreement quantity. Okay, so if I say yes, then it will automatically delink and it will do everything and remove the link for the agreement. So you will not find the agreement link anymore attached. See, the attachment is disabled. So that is the if you want that to happen, then you need to make sure that you have turned on the max enforced checkbox in the sales agreement. We've also seen this while reviewing the purchase agreement, I believe. So you can also check the purchase agreement do have the similar feature. So this is about the sales agreement, guys. I'll leave you to research and explore about the category based value commitment and the total value commitment in all those areas. They are quite similar. The concept is the same. So I'll let you to explore that. So see you in the another video.